You're watching Morow.com with Jadis, and we have a new album out. I say new, it was out in last year. It's called More Questions Than Answers.
And we have a live album called Live Snapshot. Go for it.
Alright, well basically I always liked the idea of the guitar. So my first interest before the music was what a guitar looked like before I went for the sound. I can remember watching Top of the Pops and Noddy Holder from Slade, and I was interested in his Stratocaster that he had, and I was drawn to the shape of it and how it sounded. But then it took me years before I then got into the playing of guitars, and that was when I started to hear Steve Hackett, which a lot of people would suggest were influences, on Trick of the Tail. Someone played me Trick of the Tail for the first time, and I was just mesmerised by what the guitar could do without having to play many notes. It was just pure feel. So yeah, it was more, my first interests were from Steve Hackett and Andy Latimer, really, from the 70s records, listening to Snow Goose. That was my main interest at that point.
And for me, I wanted to be into classical music, and I wanted to be a classical pianist, but I've got very small hands, and I couldn't play most of the classical repertoire. And I'd love to be able to play Rachmaninoff, love to be able to play Chopin, can't play it, hands aren't big enough. So I started writing music that was like classical music, but was original classical music, you see what I mean? And then I started doing it in a rock band format at school and university and stuff like that. And I was completely unaware that the progressive rock thing was happening. And then one day somebody said, oh, you ought to listen to Genesis because it's quite similar to the stuff that you're doing. So I wasn't really influenced by those bands. I just started doing a similar type of thing and then sort of discovered them later. But it was born out of trying to do classical music, not having big enough hands. Quite simply.
Yeah, I am. As long as we can still play, the main criteria is we all get on, and as long as that stays the same, there's no reason why not. We all really enjoy getting together. We actually enjoy when we get together for rehearsals because we have a laugh. It's fun to do.
It's not a difficult band, Jay.
No, it's not really a difficult band. Really. So we enjoy it. Whenever we do gigs, we have to make sure that we don't lose money. So everything has to be sort of worked out in advance that we can make money from it, or at least definitely break even. And we wouldn't start doing stuff where we're going to lose. So if we lose money, we wouldn't do it because there's no point in that. But what we've done is that when we do some gigs, we make sure we've got something to sell, and then that props up the finances. So we'll keep doing it until either we run out of songs, run out of interest, or run out of money.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Or all three.
Or all three together, yeah, then it's a real problem. No, we've had lots of bands breaking up or members leaving, or because we've been going for so long, I just sort of keep it going because I sort of started it, I suppose, all those years ago, and we had lots of different members throughout, and then people's lives change. We've had sort of drummers who say, oh, I can't do this anymore, it's too complicated for me, or you have a keyboard player who says, no, I'm getting married, and that's it. And you're always having to fix the problems. But I've always thought there's enough about Jadis that people will want to hear, because although it's considered in that form of progressive rock, it does have its own style. We focus, whenever me and Martin do stuff, we focus on the melodies of things, and we always want to make the best of the melodies, catchy choruses and catchy harmonies. but within the realms of progressive rock. Because we're not, although we do a lot of fiddly stuff and time signatures, we want to make it.
It's about the tunes, isn't it?
You've got
it's about the tunes.
You've got to have tunes as well. You can't just. If you're going to do lots of sort of different solos or time signatures, they're great. But then if you can wrap them within a melody as well, that's really important, and not just be clever for the sake of it. Like in Do You Know, we've got some really complicated bits, but it's bookended by loads of melodies, isn't it?
Do You Know is just a campfire song,
yeah,
with a very complicated section in the middle.
Very complicated bit in the middle.
But it's a song you could play on guitar sat round a campfire.
Yeah.
It's a very simple song.
Yeah, simple chords and melodies. But I think what makes it really good is that it has got all that energy in the middle. So it is like
it goes to lots of places in the middle, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I think the melodies are great on it. And then me and Martin always looking at doing vocal harmonies.
Mm-hmm.
When we were recording, it would send me like the ideas for it. So he wrote the words, and then I would just send him my takes on it, my versions, and then
it worked out right, didn't it?
It
did. Yeah, sure. I mean, it's not something that I want to spend all my time doing, because I spent a lot of my life doing music. It reached the point in the early 2000s when it became virtually impossible to earn even a small living from doing music. So I just had to get out and do other things, or starve, basically. So yeah, it's nice to be back, but when we get back from this tour, I need to go back to work.
Yeah. Yeah, it did, but I mean, with me, it's when I feel inspired to do stuff. It's not like I think, oh, I've got to keep doing that. I have other things to do, and we all have to sort of make money as well. So I'm always finding ways of making money outside of music, and I was
bank robbery.
Yeah, I mean, you can do it if you've got the right mask.
Yeah, you can.
You can. Right. The right mask and the right dynamite. You can rob banks. But you just do, whenever you thought, oh, I've got some ideas of music, then you put them down. But I'd done so much on No Fear of Looking Down, because I did a lot of the engineering of it and the basic production of it. I just thought, oh, I've sort of had enough for the time being. I've had enough, and I'll leave it for a while until I feel ready. And what sort of transpired is that Andy was more enthusiastic than me to get music done. He's a great force to have, because he's very energetic with music. So he looks, I've sent you some more ideas, can you send what you think back? So he'd send me an idea, I'd play over it and change a few bits, and then he'd come back with something else. So it sort of reignited, and then we all had a meeting probably in 2023. We had a band meeting. We all got together, and I realised that everyone was really interested in doing it. Probably more enthusiastic than I was. Martin had ideas.
I've been writing all this stuff during lockdown with the COVID thing.
So there was lots of stuff.
And I said to Gary, I got these songs. I don't know if they're any good, but
and then
see where we go with them.
And it all worked out. It needed like a catalyst to bring more questions and answers together. Because having done No Fear of Looking Down, I was sort of in no hurry to do another one, until everyone came together and said, oh, we ought to do this. And it sort of got me more enthusiastic, just because of everyone else's enthusiasm. Widge and Andy and Steve, they thought, we could do this. We've all got like studios in our houses. We can, music systems to write stuff. So after that point, the album came together really quick.
It also helps that we all live in the south of England.
It does help.
It doesn't make it that difficult to get the band together.
Yeah. generally, it's something that we have to deal with throughout everyone's life. There are more questions to all the problems in the world, and there'll never be enough answers to deal with it. It is just a snapshot of what life is. The world presents loads and loads of problems that can never be fixed. There's no answers for a lot of these things. So a lot of the stuff's about the things that cannot be fixed. And there'll always be more questions than answers. It's never the other way around. There's never more answers to things than questions. So it just seems but everyone can relate to it. Everyone's got problems that can't be fixed. So it is just, you haven't got an answer for everything. Even though we spend our lives trying to find answers to things, we can't do it. You know, even, I think the main thing of it is like there's more questions than answers. The idea behind it is like how the war started in Ukraine. Mm-hmm. That would take so much to solve. That no one knows why it happened, but it's happened, and we haven't really got enough answers to why it will keep going or whether it will ever end. So it is just that. It's just too many questions.
Do you know about COVID?
Mm-hmm.
It's about all the rubbish that was talked by politicians and medical people to scare us. There came a time when wise men failed the world so badly they spoke absolute rubbish most of the time. It's aimed particularly at the medical people, less than the politicians. We had a guy in England called Chris Whitty who appeared on TV every day just trying to scare us, and almost all of the stuff he said was eventually proved to be rubbish. And there's a line at the end of that: run with a pack or you swim against the tide. And it's asking the question, do you really want to believe all these experts? Because I don't. Yeah,
people do become sheep, don't they, with everything.
The message of that song is, don't trust experts, make your own mind up.
So what I was saying, whenever I normally do tunes, they're all around the 6-minute mark, virtually always. But when Martin does them, they become epics, don't they? They go into the realms of beyond 10 minutes. But,
well, I wrote that song just out of sheer frustration, because some of the stuff that people were saying during COVID from government and the health people, I would just sort of say, well, that's rubbish, and that's obviously rubbish, and all this washing their hands business, that's obviously rubbish as well. And they were just making these things up.
Yeah.
And
it's like you could go out to a pub, but only if you were sitting down and had a Scotch egg or a roll.
Yeah.
You know, they'd sort of, let's throw that out there and see what happens.
It was just nonsense.
Yeah, there was a lot.
And that song is about that nonsense.
Well, we're all back for as long as we want it to be, really. I mean, you know, there might be a point where Martin say, no, I can't be arsed with this. but the same with anyone in the band. You can get to a point, or something might happen. Say, you get problems with your hands or something, or Andy, he could have a problem with his back. So you just keep doing it while you can, and while you enjoy it. So there will be a cut-off point, but no one knows when that is. And while you enjoy something, you just do it. Everything sort of peters out at some point.
I think it's likely there will be another album.
Yeah, there'll be another album.
Yeah.
But we just do it as and when. There's no hard and fast point and say, we'll have the album out by then. We just start putting ideas together. So I think Martin, he'll be involved just for as long as you want to be involved, right?
Yeah.
While there's things and while we enjoy doing stuff together, while we enjoy working, when we actually...
Well, I've left twice. They managed to hunt me down every time.
Yeah, so. You've left twice, haven't you? I don't think so.
I think we'll do another album though, won't we?
Yeah, definitely.
Probably.
We'll do another album, yeah.
I've got another 9-minute song that we didn't get round to recording for this album, so I want to get that used somewhere.
Yeah, there's more stuff.
Good news.
Yeah, no, that was good. I mean, it's good to have someone else's take on it. I mean, when I did No Fear of Looking Down, I was doing, all the basic production, the engineering of it, and putting the songs together. And then when Andy started to get involved in production, it was fine that he would start doing putting all the demos together. So that was great. I certainly didn't mind. I was quite pleased to not have to do it.
He plays a very important part, Andy, doesn't he?
He does, yeah. And he's very enthusiastic.
Yeah.
You can't buy enthusiasm. He's really and it's nice to see the sort of enthusiasm that Andy's got. It's the sort of enthusiasm that people who join bands when they're in their 20s would have. But he will do anything to sort of come to rehearsals and do the gigs. He'll move lots because he's got 2 children. He's married, but he works everything around. He can work things around when we've got commitments, Jada's commitments, because he loves doing it.
Yeah.
So we'll just do it, and while everyone is fit enough and healthy enough and happy enough to do it. There's no reason for a cut off.
Well, the fingers still move all right, don't they?
Yeah. I mean, you're doing loads of solos that are really fast. Hands still play. Yeah, they still work.
They still work.
All this. My hands still just about work. Steve, and and we love it. We still love playing.
So keep arthritis.
Keep it at bay. Keep arthritis away if we can.
Away.
Yeah. So at the moment, I mean, because we've been doing it for so long, those sort of things could happen. You could end up with arthritis, or Andy could, because Andy could be prone to that with some of his conditions. So we just keep going until anything like that happens, and just be positive about it and just keep writing. Seems to be the way we'll probably go with it.
So I think we're good for another album at least.
Yeah.